any chance that Padme Natalie Portman returns to Star Wars? I have no information on this. No one's ever asked me to return, but I'm open to it.
Would you have any interest? Do you feel like there's something still left to say with that character? Because for many people, he's one of the most interesting introduced in the new prequels.
Yeah, I'm totally interested in revisiting Mace Windu, always. Jedi's never die. I just want to be one.
It is absolutely insane that Disney is not fully capitalizing on the opportunity to bring back all the prequel actors who want to return to Star Wars. Yes, we've seen them in shows like Kenobi and the Book of Boba Fett. But even in their own shows, they often feel sidelined and don't fully get to be their characters. Hayden Christensen, Ewan McGregor, even Natalie Portman and Samuel Jackson have all expressed great enthusiasm or at least openness to reprising their roles. There's so much potential to bring them all together for something really big again. And it's a huge opportunity that Disney is not fully taking advantage of. Not only would it make them a ton of money, but all the fans would love it as well. It would literally be a win-win for everyone.
I don't get it.
But with all that said, what do you think about this missed opportunity?
Yeah, 100%, like you were saying. Even in shows like Kenobi, Obi-Wan was almost a side character. It felt more like the Reva and Princess Leia show. Kenobi came off as a bit of a dunce without many cool moments, and the show didn't really focus on him. The same thing happened in Ahsoka. Hayden Christensen was barely a cameo. The Book of Boba Fett was a complete disaster.
It's a complete and total disaster.
It's interesting because we know Disney is a business. They want to make successful TV shows and movies because they want to make money. It's obvious to us that these actors and the roles they play could be very successful if presented the right way, but Disney has refused to do that. So it's more than just a money issue. I'm sure Disney knows that if they bring these actors back and give them their own shows, they do much better than The Acolyte, The Book of Boba Fett, or Ahsoka. But they refuse to. There has to be some sort of underlying reason why they're not doing this.
Yes, the reason is definitely that Disney's goal is to somewhat move the original fan base to the side and replace it with a new generation of fans. I know a lot of people might question what I mean by new fans, but let me explain. Disney is trying to create a new Star Wars audience that resonates with the sequels, the Acolytes, and all the new characters they're introducing. They're slowly moving away from the older characters. The sequels are a perfect example of this. Yes, you have Luke, Han, and Leia in there, but they all end up dying. The character arcs they went through in the original trilogy are essentially reduced back to where they started. It's clear they're trying to move away from the original characters and focus on the new ones. When it comes to the prequel actors, bringing them all back for a major project would definitely be a huge success, but that's not their main concern. They seem very intent on phasing out the original fans to bring in new ones.
Why are you doing this?
I can't think of any other reason why they wouldn't do it.
The only reason I can think of that makes some sense, and I'm really stretching it here, is that these huge characters and actors are expensive to hire. Bringing in new characters like Ahsoka, Reva, or Princess Leia and casting lesser-known actors for The Acolyte is probably much cheaper than hiring Ewan McGregor, Natalie Portman, Samuel Jackson, or Hayden Christensen. It's hard to even compare these new actors with the established ones. The only plausible reason might be that Disney wants to push new characters without paying huge salaries. But even then, there's a reason these established actors are expensive. Their shows would do much better than those with no-name actors.
So that's how it works.
People want to see these iconic characters and actors, which is why they cost more. So I lean more toward what you're saying. It seems like Disney might be trying to push out the old fans. This is a common trend, not just in Star Wars. The Halo show recently got canceled for trying the same thing, pushing away old fans, doing something new, not caring about the lore. It's just not a winning strategy.
Yeah, no, I completely agree with most of that. I mean, the big thing with all these franchises nowadays is that they don't seem to care or prioritize making good stories anymore. They just want to push their own messages or personal stories, sidelining what actually makes these franchises and characters successful. They just don't really care about it. But back to the whole issue of why they won't cast the prequel actors. Yeah, like you said, it is more expensive to cast them. But as you also mentioned, you're paying more for these actors, but the return on it is also going to be much better. When you bring in these actors, you're going to get so many more viewers, and the return on investment will more than make up for it. Plus, you'll make the fans happy. Like I said, it's just a win-win situation. However, Disney, especially on their social media, doesn't even look at their Instagram, YouTube, or even TikTok comments. The fans are very vocal about what they want and how they feel, but Disney literally turns a blind eye to it.
Wait a minute, Josh, I'm in. Yes, I can't see. What? Something's happened to my eyes. I can't see.
You can't see. He can't see.
They don't even consider what we want. If Disney actually cared about what the fans want, they would be way more profitable and everything would be so much better. But yeah, it's a shame that they won't do things for the fans and that it's all about them.
Another point I wanted to bring up about the prequel actors and the differences compared to the current actors is that you could clearly tell the prequel actors genuinely enjoyed the characters they played and were true fans of Star Wars. The new actors, based on cast interviews and various clips online, seem to lack that same connection. They just weren't big fans of Star Wars growing up, or even currently. I've seen multiple instances where they get names wrong for key events and characters.
You can't look and see that Anakin blowing up the Death Star possibly killed millions and millions of people.
We all know the infamous mistake where someone said Anakin blew up the Death Star. They often talk about how cool and misunderstood the Sith are, so it's clear they're not true fans. They're there to play the role, get the paycheck, and be part of a big IP. It's disappointing because you could tell the previous actors really cared about their roles. I mean, Samuel Jackson took a pay cut because he thought the Jedi were cool and wanted a purple lightsaber. Actors like Hayden Christensen and Ewan McGregor love talking about Star Wars. They're always expressing a desire to return to their roles. Even Natalie Portman has mentioned she'd be open to it, and you could tell from her interviews during the prequels that she understood the lore in her role. I think the biggest thing missing nowadays is hiring people who genuinely care about Star Wars. Genuine passion for the franchise translates into performances that resonate with the audience.
I completely agree. I mean, sure, you have people like Dave Filoni, Jon Favreau, Sam Witwer, and all that, but you know, their roles are very limited. Dave Filoni, you could tell he definitely had a bigger role for the Ahsoka show, but you could also tell he did not have full control over that show because, you know, Clone Wars Season 7, that was all him. And that was amazing. Like you see what he's capable of doing. You see little glimpses of that in the Ahsoka show, but you also see how Disney kind of wants to weave in their own little messages too. And, you know, someone like Dave Filoni, who's already proved he can make good stuff, I think it's pretty obvious that he had a big role in that show, but he did not have full control. And if people like him had more control just over the writing, at least, it would be so much better for the franchise.
No, like you said, it's clear this isn't going to change anytime soon. It really makes you wonder, when will it change? Will there ever be a time when Star Wars fans get good Star Wars content? It remains to be seen, and it doesn't look great for the near future. Hopefully Disney will wise up. Maybe the audience scores and loss in profits will show them that what they're doing isn't right. We can only hope that this type of content doesn't continue forever. So yeah, if you've stuck around till this point, thanks for watching. Make sure to like, subscribe, and comment below what your thoughts on the prequels actors potentially returning for future shows. May the Force be with you. We need it now more than ever.